assignments, doubts, exams. We have got you back. EduPlanner make every chapter easy to understand. Stay tuned, learn more, grow with us.
This question asks us to consider the this reaction. CO combines with Cl2 to form COCl2. It tells us that at equilibrium, the concentrations, the partial pressures of CO, Cl2, and COCl2 are 0.3, 0.1, and 0.6 respectively. And then it tells us that 0.4 atmospheres of Cl2 is added, and it wants us to find the pressure of CO after you add this amount of Cl2. The first step in this reaction is going to be to figure out what the equilibrium constant is at equilibrium or under the conditions they gave us first. So we can find that with respect to pressure, or Kp here. This would be the partial pressure of COCl2 divided by the product of the partial pressure of CO and Cl2. So it's 0.6 divided by 0.3 times 0.1 gives us an answer of 20. And with this information, we can then figure out what it asks us in the second, or in the later part of the question, what the partial pressure of CO is after adding some amount of Cl2. So it tells us we're adding 0.4 atmospheres of Cl2. So the new starting is going to be 0.5 atmospheres. And everything else is going to stay the same initially. And then we're going to set up our ice table. If those are the initial values, then we're going to change. If we're adding Cl2, we know we're going to shift the reaction towards the right. We're adding reactants, we're going to shift towards products. So the changes on the reactant side are both going to be negative, of course. And the changes on the product side will be positive. We're going to gain product and use of reactants in the process. So then to express what the equilibrium partial pressure is, 0.5 minus x and a 0.6 minus x plus x. These are expressions for the equilibrium partial pressures, and we're going to plug those into our equilibrium equation. So we'll have 20 equals 0.6 plus x over 0.3 minus x times 0.5 minus x. If you rearrange and get your quadratic equation and solve, you would find that x equals 0.1788. And you then plug x back in, and you can figure out what the partial pressures are at the new equilibrium. But this question just asked us for CO. So the partial pressure of CO equals 0.3 plus, minus 0.1788. And that equals about 0.12 atmospheres. So the new partial pressure of CO after you add some amount of Cl2 to the reaction is now 0.12 atmospheres.